So that shiny new game just came out, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered, and you want to know if it's worth your time, right? Well, let's take a look at the game for some first impressions. Keep in mind this is not a full review, this is a quick look at the game. Everything I'll be talking about happened within 5 hours of starting the game, so I'll show some footage of the game while describing it and giving a few thoughts on it. Let's just say right away, this game looks way better than the original. It looks great. I played Oblivion a little bit on the 360, but I never finished it. I was too busy with multiplayer games at that time. With this being remastered though, I cannot wait to fully beat this game. It has that old feeling to it, but it just looks great. I played 5 hours, but it's probably closer to 3.5 or maybe even 4 hours of gameplay. The reason is I spent some time customizing my character, which has a decent amount of facial customization, and then the other times I wasn't playing, I was constantly changing my settings until I finally settled on something. You start the game in the prisons underground, and the FPS in the buildings or underground are a lot different than outside. Once you go outside, the FPS drop noticeably. The upscaler I settled on was actually FSR 3, as it seemed to have a more stable FPS for me over DLSS. I'll have the settings I used in the description. It was something I was constantly changing for about 3 hours off and on. There's 10 races to choose from, but I'm boring and I chose a human looking one. Combat works like this. There are single use magic spells and magic spells that can be used over and over. All magic use the blue bar on the bottom left of the screen, and that regenerates over time. I tended to use a flame or spark spell to shoot at enemies. The red bar is health and the green bar is stamina. They also regenerate over time. For weapons, there are several types, and I probably haven't seen them all yet, but I've seen bows, various swords, daggers, clubs, axes, and hammers so far. Oh, and there are magical weapons too, like a staff that shoots sparks. I got that from a goblin, but once the charge runs out on that staff, you'll need to recharge it. I settled on a shield and longsword combination with an attack spell at the ready. The attacking and defending with weapons is pretty basic. I mean, it is an old game, but it's still fun. The spells are the flashy attacks. All weapons and armor that you use in the game has durability, and if you don't repair it, it can break. You have an inventory that has a weight limit, which I constantly had full, and you can equip your weapons and armor from there, as well as your spells in the magic tab. I used the inventory and magic tab quite a lot, and then I also used the map and quest tab a little bit. The game begins with the Emperor coming into your prison cell to use a secret passage to escape assassins, but then he recognizes you from his dreams. He and his guards then escape through the secret passage, but they leave the way open, so you can just leave too. They disappear somewhere ahead, so you're on your own as you explore the tunnels. Let me explain what I did the whole time on the game. I explored caves, mines, ruins, and other places similar to that. They all have random loot in them with enemies to fight. Some enemies I fought were goblins, rats, skeletons, and zombies. Then I fought a few other creatures like wolves, human bandits, ghosts, necromancers, and more. There's a pretty decent amount of different enemies in the game. In terms of missions, I focused on the main mission only, but I actually spent most of my time exploring around the map on my way to the missions. As for the main missions though, the Emperor died in the underground tunnels, and he gave you a necklace right before dying, and he told you to find a son that was hidden away and doesn't even know that he's the son of the Emperor. He's currently living as a priest. When I got to the castle where the priest is, there was a giant gate of Oblivion in front of the castle gate. So I went into the Oblivion gate, I did all that I needed to do there, and I made it disappear. That then brought me back to the real world, and I could enter the castle. I did find the Emperor's son, but then I decided to do a side mission and help finish clearing the castle of enemies before I continued with the main quest. After clearing the castle, I got off the game. Mission wise, I didn't really get that far, but this game is open world and has a lot of random mines or tunnels that you can explore along the way to a mission. You can enter most buildings that you come across, but almost every door that you enter will have a loading screen. There are merchants that specialize in certain categories that you can buy and sell from, like spells or weapons or potions, and I found them in cities. Then there's things that you can find in loot, like from enemies, chests, or even stealing. However, if you're caught stealing, you can then be arrested, fight them, or pay a gold fee, but they'll still take the items that you stole. Or you can do what I do and just load a save before they caught you. There's potions that you can take for temporary buffs, or you can even create your own potions in the inventory if you use a mortar and pestle. Oh, and to increase your attribute stats, you have to first rank up and then sleep in a bed. Once you wake up, you can then assign your points. That took me a while to remember. I was level 1 for a while until I slept in a bed. Needless to say, there's a lot that you can do in this game. I personally love this game. It looks great and the gameplay is fun. It's the same great game as before, but with a new coat of paint on it and a few tweaks to the gameplay here and there. If you've never played Oblivion or never beat the game like me, then this version is the best one to do it with. This game is definitely worth your time, though that's my personal opinion. Whether or not this is your type of game, I'll see you on the next one.